We live in a world overflowing with options. From the moment we wake up, we are pulled in 100 directions. Goals to chase, problems to solve, people to please, success to build. And in the middle of all this noise, we're told to do more, be more, hustle harder. But what if the answer to the life you're longing for isn't found in more effort, but in proper alignment? What if the reason for our stress, confusion, and lack of peace is not because we're not working hard enough, but because we've put second things first? There's a divine blueprint, a sacred principle woven into the fabric of life, and it's this: seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. This is not just a beautiful verse, it is a strategy, a key, a command. Seeking God first isn't about being religious. It's about being real. It's about choosing the voice of the Creator over the noise of the crowd. It's about understanding that your source determines your strength and your priority determines your peace. So today, we return to first things. Today, we choose to build our lives on something, someone, that cannot be shaken. Life is shaped by what you place first. What you prioritize becomes the compass of your direction. God did not say, "Seek me occasionally," or "Fit me in when you have time." He said, "Seek first the kingdom." First implies preeminence, not convenience. Many pursue goals, relationships, and careers, assuming God will endorse what they've already chosen. But divine order begins with divine consultation. Without seeking God first, even good things can become distractions. Your job may be excellent, your partner may be supportive, your dreams may be noble, but if God isn't the foundation, those things become burdens instead of blessings. A businessman once told me, "I built my company from nothing. Now I'm losing everything." When I asked if he had ever sought God's vision before launching, he went silent. His silence said it all. Success without seeking God first is fragile. It might look impressive, but it lacks eternal weight. Putting God first means more than praying before meals. It means aligning your heart, your plans, and your values with His will. You filter decisions through His Word. You don't ask God to bless your plans. You ask for His plans, then walk in obedience. People often say they don't hear from God, but you won't recognize a voice you haven't prioritized. Intimacy grows from consistency. Seeking God first trains your spirit to be sensitive to His whisper, even in a noisy world. God doesn't compete for your attention. He waits to be invited into the center. And only when He is in His rightful place can the rest of your life make sense. Everything out of order creates confusion. Everything in alignment creates peace. Many treat God like a fire extinguisher, only reached for in emergency. But God is not a last resort. He is the source. Seeking Him first means He's the first thought, not the final option. When you approach Him only after every plan fails, you're not seeking. You're scrambling. There's a difference between desperation and devotion. Desperation comes when you've exhausted yourself trying to do life without God. Devotion starts by acknowledging you were never meant to do it alone. Real trust begins before the crisis. It begins in stillness, in quiet moments when nothing is wrong, but everything is uncertain. That's when you decide to place your confidence in something greater than your own understanding. A young couple once came to me heartbroken after years of trying to repair a fractured marriage. They had tried therapy, relocation, even a second honeymoon. None of it worked. Only when they both surrendered to God, not as a final resort, but as a first real choice, did healing begin. Their transformation wasn't magic, it was alignment. When you seek God first, you access wisdom that surpasses intellect. You invite peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. You receive strategies that no textbook or mentor can offer. God doesn't give backup plans. He gives original blueprints, but He doesn't force them on you. He waits for you to ask. If God is not Lord of all, he is not Lord at all. You can't give him weekends and emergencies and expect fullness. When he becomes the center, everything starts to orbit correctly. Health, purpose, and clarity are byproducts of priority. Not because God rewards perfect people, but because he honors surrendered ones. Everything in life draws from a source. Your phone needs a charger. Your body needs food and water. Your soul needs God. When you connect to the wrong source, you live in constant depletion. Many people are exhausted not because they're doing too much, but because they're drawing from an empty well. Careers can't fill the void of purpose. People can't sustain you emotionally if they weren't designed to carry that weight. Money can fund your lifestyle, but it can't supply peace. Seeking God first connects you to a source that never runs dry. God is not just a motivator. He is the origin of every good and perfect gift. When you align with him, you're not pulling from effort. You're flowing from presence. The right source supplies more than enough. Joy, direction, peace, creativity. A farmer doesn't panic about the harvest if the seed is in good soil and the rain comes. That's the picture of someone who seeks God first. Their provision flows because their roots are in the source. They're not chasing results. They're staying connected. When God is the source, the supply takes care of itself. Confusion thrives in disconnection. When you're distant from God, you overthink, overanalyze, and hesitate. But when you seek God first, clarity replaces chaos. God doesn't hide direction. He reveals it to those who seek him with intention. A young entrepreneur once shared that he wasted 2 years chasing opportunities that looked profitable but lacked peace. He finally paused, fasted, and spent focused time with God. Within weeks, the right opportunity emerged. Not forced, but confirmed. Peace is a signpost of clarity. God speaks in the stillness, not the storm. That's why seeking him first means creating space before the noise of life takes over. Decisions are clearer when made from a place of presence, not pressure. Connection brings discernment. You begin to distinguish between what's good and what's God. You stop reacting to urgency and start responding to wisdom. Clarity isn't just knowing what to do. It's knowing when and how to do it with the confidence that you're not walking alone. When you're connected to the source of truth, confusion loses its grip.